And hello again, everybody. Joe Fiduccia back with another round of training for you. Today we're going to spend a little more time in Microsoft Word, specifically talking about a feature called cover pages. Now, just as the name implies, a cover page in Word is the front page of the file. And instead of us having to manually create one, we can use one of the cover pages Word provides for us. These are called building blocks, and you'll want to think of them like mini templates, things that are already done and ready to be selected from. So let's go ahead and take a look at how we can use a cover page in Word. In today's example, you'll see that I have a report here in front of me, and the report is not just 2 pages long. It's actually quite longer than that. But what I'd like to do is insert a front page into it. Now, I could certainly do that myself, though it would take some time. I can manually start typing in my own cover page and put in my own logo and such. But what I'd like to do is see what Word can do first. To use the cover pages of Word, you'll find them on the Insert tab up there in the ribbon. Under the Insert tab, the very first button you'll see on the left is something called Cover Page. And under it is a whole gallery of default cover pages listed alphabetically by Microsoft. Now, these are all default options. You don't have to install these. They're part of the Word installation. And it's basically a matter of picking the theme and the style that you like the most. For example, I kind of like this Cubicles option. So I'm going to go ahead and select this as my cover page. And without doing anything else, notice how I now have a fancy looking cover page in my document. It first did not delete the table of contents page. You'll see that still on the right hand side. It inserted a new one right in front of it. And secondly, all the fields that are in here are easily editable, so I can type the document title, the name, the author, the year, and anything else I'd like to finish creating this cover page. But the basic premise, this cover page just saved me a ton of time creating all of this stuff myself. Now let's take this just a bit further. The sections that a cover page automatically includes are things like the title, the author, and depending on the cover page you select, you'll see some other things as well. These are actually the properties of the file. And if you've taken the time to adjust those properties before inserting a cover page, all of this stuff would automatically be filled in. Here's what I mean. I'm going to go ahead and undo this cover page insertion and bring it back to the way it was in the beginning. Now, I'm getting ready to insert a new cover page, but before I do, I'm going to check the files of the document, which is located on the File tab down under the Info section. If we look on the right of that Info section, you'll see a whole Properties area. Now, there's a lot of properties we can add to a file. I'm going to keep this simple today. There's a line right here for the title. And on that title line, I'm going to type in the words Burke Annual Report. You'll also see down here towards the bottom, there's an Author section. So I'll go ahead and plug in my first and last name down there on the Author section. And I'll keep it simple. That's all I'll do for today. Once I'm done, I simply return to the Home tab of the ribbon. Now, having taken a moment to adjust those properties, I can now repeat what I did before, where I go to the Insert tab and click that Cover Page option. Once again, I have a whole gallery of things that I can pick from in here. Let's say I'm really liking this austere cover page, so I'm going to go ahead and select that one. Just like it did before, it inserts a new cover page, but look closely. Notice how the title is automatically inserted down there at the bottom. And if I zoom in a bit closer here, you'll notice that my name is also automatically inserted. See, what it did was it took some of the properties that I modified just a few moments ago and automatically incorporated them as part of my cover page. Now, for many people, what we just saw there will be perfectly sufficient. We'll never have the need to customize this gallery or add our own things to it. The Microsoft options that are automatically provided will be perfect for what we do. But then there are those of us who don't fall into that category and say to ourselves, you know, I'm never really going to have a use for any of the ones that Microsoft provides. I need to be able to create my own custom cover pages. And that's where we'll go to next. You'll see here that I have a custom cover page specific to our company. It has our logo, a title, a couple other areas as well, but this is a report that I create once every week. This is one of the many reports that I generate, so there might be the need to use this same cover page, this same layout, again in the future. If that's ever the case, what you can do is highlight something that you've built, as I'm doing here. Now, once everything is highlighted, return to the Insert tab. And under the Insert tab, go back to the Cover Page Gallery. Because if you look at the bottom of the Cover Page Gallery, there's an option to save our selection to this gallery. And that's exactly what I want to do. I want to take what I've built and add it here. So I'm going to go ahead and select that option to save this selection. Give it a name. I'll call it America's Footprints Cover Page. Notice there are a few other properties in here. We're going to forego those today. We're simply going to click OK at the bottom. And now what I've done is created a way to use that cover page again in the future. If I return back to this Cover Page Gallery and scroll down to the very bottom, I will now see a new cover page just added, which I can use at any time I want. So anytime I build something new or open up a different Word document, I will be able to insert a custom cover page such as the one I inserted here. This is a permanent change in Word, making my life much easier in the future and keeping consistency across multiple files. Taking a slightly closer look at the Cover Page Gallery, you'll notice there really aren't too many other options. You'll see again all the default Microsoft cover pages laid out alphabetically. Any custom cover pages we build will be at the bottom by default. You'll see an option towards the bottom of this gallery that allows us to bring in more cover pages direct from Office.com. We can remove the current cover page we've inserted, or again, we have that Save Selection option down here at the bottom. One of the things that you'll also need the ability to do, though, is customize the options we see in here. A lot of us may not ever have a use for the Microsoft ones and might want to just delete them. Or we may just want to say, you know, I don't want to scroll down every time I want to get to my own custom cover page. I want my cover pages to be at the very top of the gallery. All of that stuff is located in the Building Blocks Organizer. Now, to get to the organizer is very simple. You can take any cover page you'd like and right-click on it. When you right-click on a cover page, you'll see an option that says Organize and Delete. Upon selecting that option, you'll see the Building Blocks Organizer will then appear with a list of all the cover pages we were just seeing in that gallery. Now, this is the organizer we would come to when we need to do things such as at the bottom here, delete the current cover page, or insert it, or edit the properties for it. Now, the one thing you will not be able to do here is change the way the cover page looks. If you recall that Cubicles cover page that I was using earlier, maybe I want to change something about it. Maybe I don't like this blue style, or I want to move the title area up a bit higher on the page. Those types of edits cannot be done here. It's only basic editing that we can do. So if you ever need to change the way a cover page looks, you'd actually have to do it out in the Word document itself. Once you insert it into the document, you can change the way it looks and create your own by adding your own custom theme to the gallery, just like we did before. But you will not be able to change anything in this window. You will be able to see it and modify some basic attributes down here at the bottom. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Cover pages are a very simple feature of Word that very few tend to even realize is there. This is one of the many building block features that Word offers, and we'll get into many more building blocks in future tutorials. But simply put, it's a way to save time building front pages to a file. You can use the ones they give you, or you can add your own to the gallery using the steps provided here today. As always, there's many more things we could say about cover pages, but we like to keep our tutorials short, to the point, and hopefully, most importantly, useful. We hope you've enjoyed the tutorial today, and we do hope you'll find great value to cover pages in the future. Thanks for coming, and I'll look forward to seeing you again real soon.